mâncați așa, auzi?
Marea și toate cerele.
Au.
This chilling clip was captured by a team of paranormal investigators who decided to live stream their exploration of an abandoned house, giving viewers a front-row seat to what they would later describe as one of the most aggressive locations they had ever entered. From the moment they stepped inside, something felt off. The air was heavy, stale, and deeply unwelcoming. It wasn't just silence, it was the kind of silence that feels alive, where every footstep seems to disturb something hidden. Many investigators believe places like this can absorb years of fear, trauma, and decay, allowing dark energy to settle in until the environment itself begins to feel hostile.
Auzi, mâncați așa, auzi?
Marea și toate cerele.
Aoleu, a spart bateria. Băi, bă, a rămas bateria acolo, băi. Nu mai cânta, băi, nu mai cânta, băi, omule, băi. Băi, oprește-te, băi. Bă, oprește-te, băi, că s-au dișălat bateria aici, am cațaș. Fugi. Fugi. Dă-i tare.
Păi cum împingi?
Dai, măi, oleacă. Uite ce am făcut aici. Are pe bune. O început cânta Ionuț acolo în cameră, de rămas dulapul de tot.
Doamne Iisuse Hristoase, Dumnezeul nostru, Cel ce a făcut marea și toate cerele.
Aoleu, a spart bateria. Băi.
It didn't take long before things escalated. Objects inside the house suddenly began moving, then flying. Items shifted, slammed, and crashed to the ground with violent force, far beyond what could be explained by an old structure settling. It felt intentional, as if something inside was reacting to their presence and growing angrier by the second. Many believe abandoned places like this can become breeding grounds for something darker, especially when they've been left, untouched for years, isolated, rotting, undisturbed, giving whatever might be their time to grow stronger. But that wasn't the only terrifying encounter they experienced. During another live stream at a completely different abandoned house, they captured something that left both the team and their viewers shaken.
Da cu casetofonul ăsta mini, da cu dulapul mini. Oricare spirit ai aflat aici, oricare... Ce-a fost asta? Ce-a fost asta? S-a desfăcut sertarul în cava.
Rească-mă Dumnezeu, dacă nu mai citesc odată.
Fai de cap, mă, dacă nu nebunesc. Uitați, uite spiritul cum trece pe aici, uite, uite. Da cu dulapul mini. Îți ordon, oricare spirit ai aflat, oricare...
Ce-ai zis așa, măi?
Nu, am stricat tot, gata.
De ce ai zis să-i nu trebuia să zici?
Vai de capul,
o rup priză, o rup tot.
Pleacă, gata.
Ți-am zis să nu zici. Ai zis să dea cu dulapul în tine, de ce ai zis?
Fai de capul meu.
Nu trebuia să zici.
În fața mea, Ionuț.
Hai de mine, nu trebuia să zici. Nu trebuia să cânt nicio aia.
Pardon, oricare spirit te afla, oricare...
Ăsta pe bunii de mult, pe bunii de la mare.
Da, Ionuț.
Nu-ți de aminte de ei. Și cu ochii, și căcatul ăștia.
A, tu cu moliftele tale, cu astea.
Nu, că e de la molift.
Nu e de la molift.
Ai zis tu.
Am zis eu.
At first, some tried to dismiss what appeared on camera as dust or debris catching the light. But that explanation quickly starts to fall apart when you notice the timing. The strange formation appears almost instantly, after one of the investigators directly asks if any spirits are present, as if something is responding. Then, just seconds later, a shelf violently crashes down, not slowly, not naturally. but with a force that feels deliberate, almost targeted. Whatever was inside that house seemed powerful enough to affect the physical environment, powerful enough to respond, and powerful enough to make one thing brutally clear: it did not want them there. Encounters like this are exactly why many investigators warn that some abandoned houses aren't empty at all. They're occupied. And, hopefully, whatever caused that level of destruction stayed behind. A woman named Emily received a motion alert from one of her outdoor security cameras. At first, she didn't think much of it. It could have been anything: a passing car, headlights, or someone moving nearby. Assuming it was nothing serious, she decided not to check the footage right away. But when she finally did, what she saw was far from normal. Sitting on the roof of her house was a tall, pale figure. It stood completely still, almost as if it were watching from above. That alone was enough to send a chill down her spine, but then things became even more unsettling. Without any warning, the figure began to rise. Slowly, it lifted upward into the air, drifting away into the darkness. As it moved, it seemed to leave behind a faint, ghostly trail before completely disappearing from view. Even when the footage is zoomed in, it's nearly impossible to explain what's being seen. Whether it was some strange visual anomaly, a trick of the camera, or something far more unexplainable, one thing is certain: it's the kind of footage that would make anyone think twice before ever looking up at their roof in the middle of the night. In this next chilling clip, a man shares something he managed to capture outside his former workplace, a business that had recently shut down under mysterious circumstances. He never fully explained why the company closed, and that silence alone makes the story feel unsettling. But according to him, the real darkness began long before the doors were ever locked. While the business was still operating, strange events were reportedly common. Eerie noises echoed through empty sections of the building. Tools would vanish without explanation, only to reappear in impossible places, and a heavy, oppressive feeling lingered in certain areas, places workers avoided without ever saying why. But what stood out most were the accidents. He claims that he and several others experienced incidents that felt far too precise to be random. Sudden injuries, equipment failing at the worst possible moments, and a pattern of misfortune that seemed almost intentional. Over time, he became convinced that whatever was inside that place wasn't passive, it felt hostile, almost aware. Then, one day while driving home, he decided to stop by the now abandoned property for one final look.
At least I know I'm not crazy, because there's definitely somebody standing right there. And now they're gone. Tell me I'm not nuts. And now they're back. You see it?
tell me I'm fucking crazy. That's the creepiest shit I've ever seen in my life. Absolutely not.
As he peered inside the darkened building, he noticed a figure standing in the shadows. In that moment, everything he had feared seemed to take shape in front of him. Later, he described it as the proof he had been dreading for years, the confirmation that something unnatural had been present in that workplace all along, even while employees continued showing up every day. Whether what he captured was truly a paranormal entity or something else entirely, the image is unsettling enough to leave one disturbing possibility behind. Maybe that building was never empty at all,